Sorry guys, just getting back from pretending I'm somewhere warm. I'm just kidding, let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to Cottonwood. My name is Andrew and I'll be your host. After things in my life suddenly changed, I decided to take a road trip for 12 days to center myself, gather inspiration, and build out the vision for what will one day become Cottonwood Loungewear. For a full explanation on what Cottonwood Loungewear is and why I'm taking this trip, check out episode 1 in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started. This is the Cottonwood Cross Country Adventure. I'm on a road leading to Porcupine Rim Campground, and I was very worried about getting a spot, just because all the websites said to be here really early, which obviously more so during the summer and stuff like that, but making my way over there now, and now that I'm actually in the park and I'm driving around, it's so gorgeous, by the way. I've probably said that word a trillion times so far, but guys, I'm not seeing anybody else here at all. Like not a soul. I've passed by multiple campgrounds with nobody in it. See what it looks like when we get there. All right, I had to photograph this moment because I think I just reached the first arch I've ever seen in person. We're too far away from it now. There it is. I'm sure we're gonna see a lot more of them. So I reached about the end of the maintained part of this road, and it looked like it had snowed about 5 or 6 inches, and then some cars drove through, and then it snowed maybe another inch or two, and then I was the first car driving through this area since it had last snowed. And this trail is so pretty. The contrast between the red rocks and the snow is so striking, especially the way that it creates a pattern on the hills. And I'm sure it would look totally different to see this place in the summertime. It clearly looks really different with all the white snow around. And obviously I have 4-wheel drive in my Jeep, but the sun is starting to make the snow a little bit slushy. And there are parts as you go around corners where the road will be in the shade and there'll be more snow, a little bit more frosty. So it's actually a little bit more of a treacherous trail than I maybe thought it was going to be. Okay, so we are at the first part of the trip that is taking an unscheduled turn. I am not going to be able to make it to Porcupine Rim. It is too snowy and way too deep. It's to the point where the roads are really narrow and they're snowy, and I got stuck a couple times, and now I'm up at a really narrow corner that's really snowy and I can't get up it, and I just was able to back down enough to find a place to turn around. There's a spot where some water had been running down a hill across the road, and then it was all covered by snow, and it was of course now frozen. And as I'm trying to get up the hill, it's just pure sheet ice under me, and I tried getting a running start, I tried putting it in granny low, I tried everything. There was just no possible way that I was going to get up and around this corner. I don't know if you'll be able to see how high up we are at the moment. We're very high up. Okay, so the hill doesn't look very steep in this video, but it's because I had to stop recording because I got to a part where I was like, okay, this is serious, this isn't funny anymore, I need to put the camera away. The last thing I want is to film myself going off of this cliff, and that's what people find of me or something. So it was a little nerve-wracking. So now I'm gonna go down and just park maybe at one of these campsites that's lower down I was able to reach. I passed by a bunch of them, But couple hairy moments there for a minute. I had a tree coming into the car here for a second, but we are all good. That was really nerve-wracking. I don't think I've ever actually been scared while driving before, but there was a moment when I thought I had traction and didn't, and started sliding sideways towards this very deep canyon. And it was, yeah, disappointed that I'm not going to be able to make it to Porcupine Rim. But I'm sure we'll find another campground right over here. Whoa! That will work just fine. All right, so we're here. It is pitch silent. There is not a sound around. First thing I'm noticing is that the snow is pretty deep. So I think I'm gonna use my hard-cased luggage and like wipe it around. I feel like that's gonna work. So for those of you that are curious, to set up my sleeping area, I brought a foam mattress that I bought just like at an upholstery store. It's actually like stuffing for cushions and stuff like that. If I move the driver's seat all the way forward, I could create a space just long enough for my tiny little body to actually lay down in. And I bought a 5-degree comfort level sleeping bag from REI, which we'll see here in this episode is very, very worth it. And I brought a pillow and obviously my luggage and some camping cooking equipment as well. And I put command hooks up in the frame of the Jeep and on the inside of the hardtop so that I could lay these curtains over the side, basically just making sure that none of the wildlife can see me changing. But I'm also hoping that this can provide some insulation as well. All right, well, sun is almost setting here in, where am I again? Moab. And still very cold, and I feel like it even looks like it's cold. It's about as cold as it looks in this picture. Got everything set up, got my fire, and there's this constant blowing wind that is so cold. But
things are going great here.
About to cook up some dinner. Probably gonna have some pasta or something, so
yeah, things are going well.
But very cold, as I thought I would be. I was overwhelmed with how cold it was. And not that this was the coldest I've ever been by any means, but the wind chill was so cold, and it was making it feel 100 times worse. It was maybe 20 to 25 degrees when I arrived, although I was expecting things to be more like maybe in the mid-40s during the day and like low 30s, maybe about freezing during at night, but that is not the case at all. And I know I just said it a minute ago, but the wind really made things so much colder. It was like swimming in cold water. It was just this constant cold. All right, so it's 8:52 p.m. Actually, it's probably later than that now, but I'm hanging out in the Jeep. I was out having dinner and having a good time, but then the sun set and the temperature dropped pretty rapidly and the wind started to pick up a little bit. And then as the
just nighttime paranoia set in,
I started getting curious about what type of wildlife is out here and found that mountain lions are indeed out here in Utah and that they're primarily active at nighttime, especially in the winter. And that one of the primary things you should do to stay safe is to not really be hiking or camping alone, which I was all three of those things. So I decided to just maybe hang out here in the Jeep for the rest of the night. And then, so all of my stuff, or a lot of the stuff, my cooler and the water jugs and some other cooking things are all outside, but now they're all going to freeze, which means that some of the food that I bought this morning is gonna get spoiled, which is too bad. But that's all part of the trip, is having unplanned things happen. So tomorrow we'll wake up and figure out what to do with the food if it needs to. I hope the eggs aren't all frozen and gross. We'll just get that all packed up, and then it's actually going to be colder in Grand Canyon than it is here, which I was not aware of. So I'm probably going to end up booking a hotel in Grand Canyon for the evening tomorrow night. I don't think I'm going to be able to camp both nights. It's been fun doing the winter camping thing with the cold weather and making, the pasta on my Bunsen burner grill thing. It was all super awesome. Definitely worth it. I think tomorrow night I'm ready for a hot shower, and that way I can continue on to Phoenix. If I can continue on to Phoenix, I can still see my friend, continue the trip up to Las Vegas like I am planning on. Just an update here in the Jeep. After some whiskey and warming up in the car, I ventured out before bed to get one last shot of the night. I'm feeling really optimistic about today, actually. I slept really well. I actually didn't have any issues with the cold. My new sleeping bag from REI was really, really warm. I didn't wake up once, actually. I slept all the way through till about 6:30 a.m. and the sun was coming up. Got my fire going here. It's not too cold. As you can see, it's a really, really pretty morning out here. Just ultra still, ultra quiet. Can't wait till the sun comes up. Still definitely gonna probably book a hotel for Grand Canyon tonight. I need a hot shower and a hot bed for tonight, but feeling really good, feeling really rested and ready to kick ass today. I was feeling a little down after last night. It was really cold. It felt like the trip was not really gonna go as planned, but man, after a good sleep last night and I'm not feeling too cold, and every minute the sun comes up, I'm just feeling like, yeah, today's gonna be great. Next time on the Cottonwood Cross Country Adventure. Good boy. And they ended up taking me for all the cash that I had left, including a credit card payment.